there's another report that I saw today, and I'm not sure, this guy tweets a lot. I'm not going to throw his name out there, but he has a lot of Chicago scoops, if you will. And there was a report that came out that said, if Acme has been fielding phone calls, if people have called to ask for trades, they have told people they don't want to move on from anybody because they feel when they get healthy, they can make the playoffs. And if that's true, my fucking God, have we gotten bamboozled? I'm serious. What are they seeing that I'm not? And again, there's a reason I don't work in the NBA, and I'm a guy who talks about it in my basement. But like, this is what?
I think for him to even say that statement, he's got to have a pretty good poker face. He's pulling a leverage card. You're calling. You see the shit on the fan. You see the shit on the walls. It's everywhere right now. Everybody's probably calling, going, "Hey, how cheap can I get DeMar DeRozan? Hey,
I give you an Oreo for him.
Hey, Zach LaVine doesn't look like himself. You selling low? You selling low? So no, I mean at this point we've covered it every year. It doesn't matter. You don't know if you're a buyer or a seller until there's 2 hours left on the fucking trade deadline clock. It's just the way this league works. And I wish it wouldn't, because I feel, one, it would make things more exciting. The reason why a lot of fans like ourselves love the NBA more than we love any other league is the excitement, the drama.
There's a ton of it. Yeah.
The amount of trades and stuff that you can actually somewhat expect out of the NBA that you can't really expect these high drama moves in all the other sports. It's more exciting. So you'd like to see it start to happen sooner. You'd like to see teams try to change their trajectory, which the Bulls kind of need to do. And you can make an argument for either side.
Right.
Whether that's to add more, make some changes to make the continuity work, or just say, well, Lonzo Ball's not coming back. He was our only, source of continuity within this group, and that is not on this timeline anymore.
This timeline's shot.
This timeline is.
It's absolutely shot. You look, Vooch is a free agent at the end of the year. His fit here has arguably been not the best it could have been. I mean, he's been good, and I know people like to use him as a scapegoat. But even tonight, I watched tonight and how they established him and how he really did get going. He played pretty well for the most part. Didn't play bad at all. And then they fucking get away from him. And this is what kills me. I can go through the whole game. I can break down the first quarter, how sloppy they looked, even the first half in general. Just sloppy. Nonsense. You have Zach LaVine struggling in the first half. You have DeMar DeRozan struggling in the second half. You have Vooch doing some things. Kobe White comes and gives you some good off of the bench. And then you get into the second half. You start making a comeback a little bit. Vooch is doing all right. Now Zach is hitting some shots. Not a lot of them, but he's hitting some shots. Then you have DeMar DeRozan completely turning around, and he's hitting some shots. And then you get into overtime. And the free flow offense from your defense that brought you back, you completely abandon. And you go to the hero ball, ISO ball bullshit. I can't handle it, dude. I can't fucking handle it anymore. If that's how they're going to play, I'm sorry, that's a Billy Donovan issue too. It's a Billy Donovan.
No, I mean, if you're the head coach of this team, it's your job to, one, give them options that aren't that, and two, stop that if that continues to happen, which now without Lonzo Ball, it's all we really see when it gets down to crunch time is your turn, my turn, and sometimes we'll incorporate Vooch and let him get a little love in there. But it really is not the same game that you watch the rest of the way. And I guess maybe that's how it's supposed to be for most teams. And when it was working with DeMar, it made sense. But he's not getting the same calls that he was getting last year.
Calls and even the open shots, and he's not hitting. I mean,
he's not hitting the same amount of shots, and he's not getting the amount of calls that he was being granted last year. And that has a lot to do with the Bulls standing. They, as a team, are not doing well. They're not winning games. Referees don't feel inclined to give them the call. So last year, when you're winning and you're consistent, all right, no, I'll give you that one. We're not getting that this year. And not to scapegoat Vooch, but before we could even get the show started or get any words out of our mouth, our buddy Michael here was letting us know that we were out rebounded 49-31. And obviously that's not a Vooch problem. That's a team problem.
Oh, 100%.
But when you see a team like the Knicks approach the game with Julius Randle, who does a lot of the things that we applaud Vooch for when he's given the opportunity to do them, and then you have a Mitchell Robinson, who probably outpriced himself with the contract that he received for the Bulls this offseason. But you see those guys playing together, and you kind of go, well, we still don't have that rim protector, and we don't have the luxury of being able to play Vooch and Drummond together because neither of them are rim protectors, and neither of them are really versatile enough on the perimeter to do that.
Well, a big thing too is if you're gonna lose the 3-point battle and get doubled up in that, because the Knicks hit 18, we hit 9. You got to try to do
pointing shooting team of the league,
right, and you got to try to do something here to compensate for that. Fight for the loose balls, go up and get these rebounds, and they didn't. I mean, they got smacked around. I'm not really sure as I'm watching this. I'm not really sure how they got back into the game in general.
I think they were shooting like 70% in the second half.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. They like in the fourth quarter at one point they were like 7 for 10 from the field. Like they were hitting their shots, they were getting to the line. DeRozan went 16 for 17 from the field. You know, that's how they did it. But I felt like the Knicks just kind of took their foot off the gas there for a minute. No, I'm not going to say that they're like some great team, but they're better than us. And the way that they play for and with each other. I didn't see much fucking hero ball. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle have an understanding of each other. You get that.
And RJ Barrett had fouled out of the game. He was in overtime and they kicked our ass.
Yeah, that too. I mean, and Grimes came up huge too. We got to bring him up. He came up absolutely massive. He hit a ton of threes in that second half. He hit a couple or two of them in overtime, or one of them in overtime.
I know the one bounced sky high in the air and fell right in.
It was in overtime. It was brutal. You know, I saw a lot of praise for Pat on the Twitter machine for his defense. Good. Thank you for doing your job. You know, good job, man.
But a lot of that was also Caruso. Pat was getting switched on to Brunson, and Randall was just working in the paint.
Oh, yeah, Caruso was the team worst tonight, minus 15, and you do not see that in the box score ever.
And I wouldn't even agree with that. It doesn't fit the narrative. We're gonna take that off of the live broadcast. You didn't hear that. Alex Caruso was not negative. He's never been a negative in his life. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
I mean, I'll read a couple stat lines. Zach played 41 minutes, 11 for 23 from the field, 2 for 8 from downtown. He only got to the free throw line once because he just takes jump shots now. That's what Zach does. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He only turned the ball over 2 times. Good for him there. DeMar DeRozan, 8 for 18 from the field in 40 minutes. He missed both of his 3-point shots, one being an air ball. 16 for 17 from the free throw line, 32 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks for DeMarvelous DeRozan. Vooch, 9 for 16, 41 minutes, 19 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 2 blocks, only 1 turnover. Other notable stat line, Kobe White off the bench in 28 minutes tonight, did play well. He's the only player on the team outside of Javante who only played 10 minutes. That was plus in the plus-minus. Kobe White was 12 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. Again, there are some moments there for Pat. The big block on Julius Randle. He did some things. He played some decent defense. I'm not going to sit here and hate on him and call any of this his fault. But this team does not play within a flow of offense when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. And if Lonzo Ball was really the one who unlocked all of that, I mean, that's just fucking mental in itself to me, that one guy unlocked all of that, especially not a star, a good player, but not a star.
It's how crazy the game of basketball is, though, when there's only 5 guys that contribute on the court on your own team at a time, and really 8 or 9 that truly matter in a rotation when you get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
One guy can really mean that much, especially when he does the 2 things that this team just can't do, and that is defend the perimeter, which is stop opposing teams from hitting threes, and hit threes. Like, we do not have any shooting. And Lonzo putting up 8 a game and shooting over 40% covered up a lot of that.
It really did. It's funny how that masked a lot of problems. And I was blind as fuck to it because of the impact they had in the first half of last year, how just smooth they were. It's not easy being a team in the top 10 of offensive and defensive efficiency. It's not easy to do that in the NBA.
We've played, somehow we've managed to be a top 10 defense still. So
right, and to your point, right? That's true. That's very true.
Which,
I don't really understand it, but
I don't understand it either. I don't know. I'm really doubting math at this point in time. But the Bulls have been in that top 10 the majority of the year. It's our offense that has kind of been lackluster.
Oh, it's absolutely stagnant. And I just look for adjustments within the offense. And I look at the vets that are on this team to be like, this is what we need to do to really get it going. Because, I mean, even the first, if you go back and watch the first play of the game for the Bulls, what do? They kick it into the paint to Vooch, and they all fucking stand there. And I'm like, what? He's got Mitchell Robinson on him. Then you got people bitching at Vooch in overtime because he got, he went up for that like layup against Mitchell Robinson. It's like one-on-one. No one's moving. The fuck do you want him to do? Like,
sorry, the whole team isn't converging on me like we do on Julius Randle and the other. I have nobody to spray the ball to. You're all just standing there.
Right. It's absolutely, it's infuriating, man. I mean, that we had a lot of fun last year with this team. And like I've said in the last couple episodes, I don't really see where you go from here. If Lonzo's done and the continuity and health is out the window.
That their plan has just got blown so far to hell that they don't know what to do.
Oh, I'm sure, but they got to figure it out. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Well, no, that's why you make millions of dollars to make phone calls.